Hello guys! Tsukiyomi Moon Hollow Slash at 3 stars can be upgraded one more time to Lunar Eternity or to Lunar Frost. So in this video guys, we will find out what is the difference between them, which one is better and how to make them. To upgrade Moon Hollow Slash, you have to use a bladed weapon. So far, we have only two blade weapons, Light Chaser and Katana. Before you'll be able to make one of these new skills, you have to evolve your Light Chaser or Katana to Eternal Light or Demon Blade. But it won't be a problem, because to evolve any of them, you need the same supply skill, Ronin Suit. Okay, now let's see what is the difference between these two skills, which of them is better to use, when it is better, and what downsides these skills are hiding. Lunar Frost, as you could guess from its look, it slows enemies. So all enemies that are hit by Lunar Frost will be slowed down. It's a very useful effect, especially if you're using legendary Voidbreaker threats, which increase proportionate damage against enemies with lower movement speed and up to 50%. But this effect doesn't work on bosses, as in case with Fourth Barrier that slows enemies as well. You cannot slow bosses, only mobs. Okay guys, before we'll see Lunar Eternity skill, let's take a look at damage of Lunar Frost. It's 272,000. Lunar Eternity, as it was expected, is doing hard damage. With the same attack, it does 352,000 damage. And besides hard damage, enemies that are hit by Lunar Eternity are bleeding. Bleeding also working on bosses. So what do we have here? Frost Lunar does lower damage and slow down mobs. Lunar Eternity does higher damage and enemies are bleeding. If you have problems with mobs, then Lunar Frost is a perfect weapon. What can be better than a melee weapon that hits most enemies around you and slows them down? If you will take a look at any damage statistics, Lunar Frost always does the highest damage. Just look at it, it does in 3 times higher damage than Eternal Light. Lunar Eternity is not so effective against mobs, but it's more effective against bosses, because you will do higher damage to them with this skill. Anyway, I find Lunar Frost more useful skill, because you will slow mobs and you will hit most of them. It's a parry weapon against mobs. So having it, you don't need to focus on skills against mobs. You can focus on the best skill against bosses, like Drill Shot or Lightning Emitter. Now, about downsides of these new skills. To make new skills, you have to use a bladed weapon, and of course, you will use Light Chaser, who even uses Katana in hard chapters. So technically, if you want to use other weapons, then you won't be able to use these new skills. For example, in Ender's Echo, the best weapon is Kunai, and it's complicated to make Lunar Eternity. In this case, it's better to use Worm. But when it comes to passing hard chapter, Trial, Tsukiyomi 3 stars is the best hero for this mission. Okay guys, I hope you liked this video and want to see Catnip's new thrones. Write in comments your thoughts about Tsukiyomi 3 stars.